You know, people get excited by people that are a little bit dangerous. Yeah. I've seen that before, both with people choosing the wrong friends and people choosing the wrong partners.
My threat sensing, it wasn't always great in romantic relationships, for sure. I think what tends to happen is that if we're very busy, we have this tendency to be easily manipulated by certain things that are unusual, that really feel like extra oxygen to us, or just feel so nourishing. And then there's also this thing of, we know how to survive certain things so they don't feel as dangerous. So people who've had like very, overbearing or complicated childhoods or abusive childhoods, sometimes they're set to perceive danger at way too high a threshold. So their perception of what's dangerous is like way too high. And so they walk into even still dangerous situations, but they don't think of them as dangerous.
I think it's also exciting, which is part of the problem. People like excitement. And if you have a boring life and a life that doesn't have a lot of stimulation in it, and then you find someone, even if they're bad for you, but they're exciting, there's some conflict, something. There's fights and breakups and then makeups, which are exciting, and so then you get locked into this stimulation pattern, or I've seen that multiple times with people. It's a real problem.
I think it's more of a problem with people that like excitement and adventure and are super curious, but like excitement and adventure. So I'm thinking comics. I'm thinking people who like high intensity sports, that they seek relationships that are higher intensity, because, I've received great advice from people like Rick, who've said, your relationship should be a sanctuary. That should be where peace is. And actually I don't pay a lot of attention to Instagram kind of little mottos and things, but someone sent me one that I was like, yes, that feels so true, which is that men eventually settle where they feel peace.
Yeah, I think that's probably the healthiest way to do it. But I think people like I said, I think people like stimulation. And I don't think a lot of people are stimulated by their day-to-day existence. I think they're bored. I think a lot of people are just like trudging along every day. And then when someone comes along that makes you excited in your life, where someone who's just a little wild or a little crazier, maybe some lady's got a bunch of tattoos, like, look at her, like, whoa. People get excited by people that are a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, it's this idea that anything could, like anything could happen. They could do anything.
They're risky people, Someone's got tattoos on their hands. Like, Jesus, what is she doing?
Yeah, you and I both have a lot of tattoos, but I've intentionally kept it off the hands and neck.